Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Buck back with another video. And as we all seen this week, if you're watching this video right now, you probably already watched the Joe Budden Podcast on Wednesday. And you've seen that Rory and Mal came back. They made their return. And on that pod, about the first hour and a half, they discussed everything that was going on and their disagreements and all of that. And a couple things that stood out was, one, Mal unfollowing Joe Budden. Now, I didn't even realize, I kind of don't pay attention to who follows who like that. I used to be on that, but I stopped. But apparently, I think they said like April 16th, Mal unfollowed Joe. Now, that's crazy and kind of understandable until you hear what I'm about to say. It's like, all right, they beefing and all that, they going at it, and he unfollows Joe just because they beefing. Now, anybody that watches the pod knows that Mal be trying to act like he not emotional and all of that. So already, that's kind of like a red flag for real. If we being honest, that's really a red flag. But the thing that's crazy is that Mal explained why he unfollowed Joe. Nigga said that, bro, I was tired of scrolling down my timeline seeing this corny shit. And by corny shit, he was referencing Ice and Ish. Now, he then followed that by saying like, yo, I don't got no problems with them guys. Like, I don't got any problems with them. But it was just very, like, that was a very feminine type move because they all supposed to be tight. Obviously, I do believe that Ice and Ish are probably more of like Joe's friends. But like, Mal had a problem with Joe like carrying the pod on without him or without Rory. But then in the same breath, Mal didn't like come to the pod, and Rory didn't come. But I mean, Joe asked Rory not to come. He asked Rory not to come, and then Mal did what he did. Oh yeah, and one key detail, yo. So the whole reason this thing happened is because I think Joe told Rory, like, because they were having a little bit of hostility on camera, and it was like affecting them behind the scenes and all of that. You remember, Rory was like, yo, are we friends? Like, he kept talking about he wanted to fight Joe and all of that. And we all thought it was jokes because, you know, they perform. But Joe was like, yo, Rory. He gave Rory a call like, yo, Rory, I don't think you should come in for the next pod. Just take a break. Then Rory was like, cool, I'm not dealing with this guy right now. Then Joe explained the situation to Mal. And Mal said, yo, who are you to tell him not to come to the pod? That's what Mal said to Rory. That's what Mal said to Joe. And Joe said, nigga, this podcast is none of your business. And I'm just like, yo. Like, I remember when I first heard like the one part where Joe, I think where Rory said, not Rory, where Mal said, yo, who do you think you ought to tell Rory not to come to the pod? And my thought was that Joe says something of that nature, like, nigga, this is the Joe Budden Podcast. But the specific words he said was, nigga, this podcast is none of your business. And it's kind of crazy. But yeah, Mal unfollowed Joseph because he didn't like seeing Ice and Ish on his timeline. And that was crazy. And then I think it was another part of that podcast that was interesting was that I think they were arguing about like respect. And Joe told Rory and Mal that he doesn't owe his friends respect. He doesn't owe respect to his friends.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And it's kind of crazy. It's crazy, period. Right before he said that, he was saying he owes respect to like strangers and all of that before Mal started asking, like, you owe respect to strangers? You owe respect to strangers? And like, how I roll, my code, you owe respect to anybody that's not disrespecting you. That's just word. Like, nigga, why would you just walk around disrespecting niggas unless you a demon? Like, facts. But then they started talking about it, and Rory and Mal kept saying, yo, so you telling me you owe a stranger you don't know from a can of paint respect? And the correct answer, in my opinion, my moral compass is yes. Joe eventually caved in and said no. But then he also said that he don't owe his friends respect. But he explained like, yo, y'all niggas isn't like entitled. Y'all, that's an entitlement thing. Like, y'all niggas is entitled to respect. Like, y'all shouldn't be entitled to anything from me. That was his whole argument about him not owing his friends respect. Now, me personally, you owe your friends respect, but I don't know, man. The way they was arguing and bickering that first hour, I don't know if this pod, I don't know if they fixed everything up. I was glad to see that the JBP boys is biking the business and all of that. That's dope. But I hope they really sorting these problems out, because it seemed like it was a lot of tension still on the podcast. They was arguing, and I don't know, man. I don't even know how they got on screen together. They looked like they was still tense and all of that. And Rory looked cool. He looked like he was alright. It was really just Mal. Mal was just looking like a little diva. Like, Mal was just up there tight and upset. But yeah, this is a little update on the Joe Budden Podcast, man. If you like this video and watched it to the end, make sure to leave a like on this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, or just see me, I don't know if you want to see me. I ain't fire now. But like, if you want to watch videos like this, just click the subscribe button, man. It's your boy Buck, and I'm out. Peace.